After 26 months without a president, what are the key economic challenges awaiting Joseph Aoun as he assumes the presidency?
Greetings and thank you for having me. And I would like to salute you and your teamwork. Today we are living in a very delicate moment that forms an opportunity for Lebanon as after 26 months of political vacuum. So particularly that the time Lebanon is witnessing that in the term of the previous President Michel Aoun, we've had an monetary crisis described by the International Bank that was one of the three crises in the history. Today, after the electing a new president in Lebanon, following that time, that we have a chance ahead of the president and a daunting challenges and the matters requested for rebuild Lebanon are several, and we cannot even number them. Therefore, the first challenge for him is to form this authority, the vacuum of the first-class posts in the administration and ministers, and then the reconstruction after the war, and to raise the financial sector and to search for how to give the deposits to their depositors that were frozen due to the financial crisis, and then they regain the trust and the confidence that would lead to the attract the foreign capitals and the hard currency into the country. These are the main challenges facing the new elect president.
And has the prolonged leadership vacuum affected Lebanon's financial and economic crisis?
Yes, of course, the political vacuum affected at a larger scale of the monetary crisis. If we have had a president and a government, not a caretaker, an effective government, as well as a roadmap or a map of actions, and they might have had solutions of the financial crisis that we lived since October 2019. That made the economy to go back 10 seas, and if we've had a president and a government within these 2 years would have had solutions and agreement with the International Monetary Fund. They always made negotiations, but they never reached an agreement for the suspended matters. Lebanon today is in need of billions of US dollars, in particular in the process of reconstruction, as well as solving the problem of the depositors. That the lira currency had lost 90% of its value vis-a-vis the US dollar, as well as the economic problems, particularly in the level of the wages, as the purchasing value of purchasing is decreased actually to 90%. And we are very relying on the new president through the national inclusive government, the international institution, as well as the funding.
Okay, let me ask you about let me ask you about the new president's priorities. What do you think the top economic priorities for the new president should be, the ones that he really needs to address immediately?
First, certainly the top priorities in dealing with the financial crisis are the restructuring the financial sector, as the monetary and the financial sectors have great problems that affected all the people, even if some citizen wish to take a loan of establishing an entity. The banks never gave them the loan, so we had no loans in the banks for 5 years, and part of the deposits need to go back to the depositors, and also to make incentives for the investors in order to gain a hard currency. The gaining of the interest to the country would attract foreign investment hard currency. These investments would pump monies and create job opportunities for the Lebanese, that they are in dire need for the work opportunities. These should be linked to stability and the political and the military security, as the capital is actually loose to flee out. Several challenges, these are the most top with regard to the financial sectors and matters.
Well, of course, there are broader challenges as well. The energy sector faces many challenges. What can be done to address the power shortages and the infrastructure that needs rebuilding?
Certainly, these also one of the priorities that require solutions is the energy sector. As the energy sector has witnessed the corruptions and that cost Lebanon in the previous years $40 billion. If we would have had to spend them in the energy sector, would have achieved a surplus. So the president should work for the innovate the contracts regarding the and as well as the establishing the electricity plant to produce electricity in Lebanon, as the Lebanese workers are making generators by their own hands, even but because of course they are the establishment of electricity plants were banned in the country, and also to develop the oil and energy sector, and to complete what have done in the previous authority to the exploration of the oil.